Hello, everybody. You can call me Hutch, and today I'm going to give you my fundamental analysis about why I think Bitcoin is the best long-term investment. And it's kind of like an overarching theme about what draws me to it. So, if you think about the world and how it's kind of working at its current state, the US dollar is the reserve currency. The government issues bonds. People buy those bonds, right? You've heard about people buying our debt, right? All those bonds actually have negative real returns, which I'm going to show you a clip to explain that. But meaning they're not actually producing returns for investors in those bonds, right? So they move to other places like crypto and stocks, and it inflates everything, right? So what I'm going to show you is a clip of Ray Dalio speaking to Lex Friedman about the world order and where we are in its cycle, right? And so what I think is going to happen is the world is going to come kind of crashing down. Now, not everyone's going to, like, it's not going to be like a nuclear winter. I mean, the financial markets are going to contract, and it's going to be a changing world order. And if you watch a lot of this video before I want to show you this specific part, he talks about how traditionally wars have been used to decide the world order, right? And to me, the whole point of Bitcoin is to have no world order, right? Instead of fighting over it and causing bloodshed and sacrifice for who makes the rules and who controls who, right? Which is what happened after the World War II, right? The U.S. won, and now everyone kind of lives on a U.S. A dollar standard or U.S. rules-based system, right? Democracy. We try to spread it, right? Bitcoin, to me, is why I'm so drawn to it. One of the reasons is I think we can have a changing of the world order peacefully, meaning if it's not the U.S., it shouldn't be anybody, because it's going to lead to war and bloodshed. But anyway, this is the most important clip of the video.
Federal Reserve is faced with the choice of having to raise the interest rate to curtail borrowing, which slows the economy and hurts the markets, or by filling that difference and producing money, the debt monetization, which produces an inflation in goods, services, and financial assets.
So what he's saying there is the Federal Reserve literally has its hands tied. No matter what it does, it's going to cause massive amounts of harm, not purposefully, maybe purposefully. I'm not a big believer in conspiracy, but no, if it raises interest rates or it prints money, either situations is going to collapse markets. They are telling us they can't do anything, right? And so Bitcoin is basically the lifeboat in my mind. So let's keep going. There's one more part.
So in that regard, that's the United States' position. In China's case, its balance of payments is better. China has displaced the United States as the world's largest trading country. In other words, more exports to other countries. And as a result, it's economically competitive, but it doesn't have the world's reserve currency.
Okay, so here's the point. You've got two world powers, right? And he talks about this earlier, about competing world powers, right? Whether it was with the Dutch and the English in the U.S., or the Germany in the U.S. in World War II, right? The wars are to compete for world power. And he talks about how there's relative peace after wars and prosperity because people have chosen who the victor is, right? They live under the reign of that power, right? Under the reign of the U.S. right now. And he's saying that China is coming for that spot, right? I get that. And if you don't get that, you need to listen carefully, right? And the only way I see it, right, is from history, from a historical standpoint, the only way to solve who will be the world power between the U.S. and China is war, right? But there's got to be another way to avoid this war, right, that he is speaking about. And to me, that is Bitcoin. And why is that? Because no longer will people be manipulating currencies or using the power of the reserve currency to direct the world how they want to see it in their worldview. Just because America has a worldview, and I think it's a good one, democracy and freedom, doesn't mean people all want to live under that, right? People will compete for that power. And having the control of the money is what leads to this conflict eventually, right? So the point is, if the U.S. is not going to, it's inevitable that the U.S. will not hold on to this power forever, okay, without causing another war. So if you want this power, you will be responsible for that war in some way or shape or another. What I am saying is, I think, and Ray Dalio doesn't say it, is Bitcoin is a gamble, but it's the best gamble we have to choose a world power without leading to war, right? And that world power is nobody has the world power, okay? You can call me Hunch. This is why I think Bitcoin is the best investment for the next decade.